Venezuela's ousted leader made his first New York court appearance in a blue jail uniform alongside his wife. Nicolas Maduro pleaded not guilty to narco-trafficking and weapons charges, saying he's innocent and was captured from his home in Caracas by the U.S. military raid, and that he still considers himself the president of Venezuela. A judge has ordered Maduro's next court appearance for March 17th. We'll discuss more on the legal aspects of this. We're joined now by Gerard Filitti, senior counsel at the Lawfare Project and End Jew Hatred. Gerard, great to have you with us on I-24 News this evening. Maduro pleads not guilty, and he also says he's still president. I mean, is there anything that's surprising so far about this court appearance besides the fact that it's happening all together?
Nothing surprising at all, except, as you say, that it's happening all together, that he was arrested and charged with what he has been indicted for. This is playing out like any other criminal defendant in federal court. He is getting the same due process rights as any other defendant. And while we expect that he will make motions to have the case dismissed because he claims to be the president of a sovereign nation, that's not likely to go anywhere. And this is likely to move forward to trial.
Well, you talk about the argument that he is likely to present. He's already saying that he was abducted. Is this likely to be the main defense, that this was a military abduction that violated the law? And if that is the case, how is that going to hold up in court? I mean, how do the courts actually balance, on the one hand, these narco-trafficking charges with the validity of how Maduro was actually brought to the court?
Well, these won't be exactly defenses. These will be arguments that he will raise in motions to get the charges dismissed, saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction. And they're not likely to succeed. First, there is the concept of sovereign immunity, where the legitimate ruler of a nation has immunity from prosecution in other nations for his acts. This is not likely to succeed because the United States does not recognize Maduro as the president of Venezuela. And courts defer to the executive branch, to the president, to the Secretary of State, who have said that he is not seen as the legitimate head of Venezuela. So that argument is likely to fail. The second argument that he will make is that he was abducted illegally from his compound and brought to trial. Now, it's interesting because federal courts in the United States don't really care how someone gets to be in front of them as a criminal defendant, so long as their due process rights are followed, so long as they have the opportunity to have counsel and know the charges against them and put up a defense. So the argument that he was abducted has been raised by other people in the past, but the Supreme Court has said it does not matter so long as they have their day in court.
So there is some sort of a precedent almost to something like this. But Gerard, a big question, what actually happens next on March 17th, and what happens until then, the 2 months in between?
Well, what happens on March 17 is a hearing to determine what discovery needs to be exchanged and what access to witnesses needs to happen. What we can expect to happen until then is Maduro will get medical treatment, as he has apparently requested, and he will have an opportunity to meet with his lawyers and start planning his defense. He is likely to have to defend these charges on the merits, meaning to dispute the evidence that the government has and perhaps call witnesses of his own. So this is what he will be doing as a prelude to the next hearing. The next hearing is a technical one as well. We don't expect there to be anything more than that, but it will set the stage for deadlines for submitting evidence, for submitting requests, and then for a trial date.
And is this likely going to be a long legal battle, or something that the courts and the U.S. president is going to want to see move more quickly through the legal system?
I think the Southern District moves pretty quickly when it comes to federal criminal proceedings. So this is something that will get to trial at the end of this year, I expect. There may be appeal on some motions. For example, he's likely to be denied the dismissal based on sovereign immunity. He's likely to try to appeal that, but those will be heard very quickly because these are all issues that are actually pretty well settled in federal law. We can expect this to move more quickly, perhaps, than other trials.
Certainly a case that not only the United States, but everyone around the world will be closely monitoring. Gerard Filitti, great to have you with us on I-24 News.